back, guys. It's Patience and Pointillism with Ahmose. One-on-one locked in with us. Episode 2, baby. Got my canvas here. easel set up. Where did we leave off? Well, left off we was working on the trees. As you can tell, trees are set. This here is Sterl Drive. Very famous Sterl Drive. Stretches all the way from about the north end down to, I want to say Lexington, somewhere over there. I used to take this road a lot, going from the hood down to school, going to a private school. But yeah, Sterl Drive was a very big commute for me all the time. And these trees in the fall would be beautiful, changing colors. But we've completed the trees. Also this bridge. So let's get in on the bridge. Got a little underpass, some people kicking it down there, some graffiti posters and all that. Now we're gonna move on to the buildings. Time to lock in on the buildings. Probably one of the easiest parts of this painting will be these buildings, but gotta get creative, gotta make them stand out, which some of them do, you know. 3 tallest, which this building on the far right, or your left, was not there when I was living in Boston. I'm not even sure what the name of that building is. But here, we have the Prudential. One of the tallest buildings in Boston. Also says Prudential at the very top of it. And then on the far left, your left, my right, or left, is the John Hancock building, my favorite building. And that building resembles a PlayStation 2. But it's all glass, and it just reflects. It's beautiful. I love that building. So yeah, we're gonna be working on buildings today. Lock in with me. Let's get it. R2s, baby. The acrylic markers themselves making their entrance. And let me not forget my painter's rag. I don't use a canvas or thing. These are pins, but they do dry out. So what I'll do is I'll dab them onto this rag. This rag has seen a lot of canvases, a lot of jackets, everything I've worked on. I've used this rag. I think I stole this from my mom. It's like a New Balance rag that she used for sports, I think. But I was like, it is mine. And as you can tell, this is what has been made of it. I love it. It might become its own canvas at some point. We have to go from this side to that side. And I think the last video I was talking about how, because I'm a left-handed person, a lot of times if I'm working opposite, my hand will get a lot of paint on it. So we're gonna be really conscious of how we work today. So I'm gonna work from this side over, just so I don't rough it up, but it's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, it's inevitable. Gotta get the colors. So we have our base, which is a beige brown-ish, but for this building, I wanna kind of make like a tile concept. As you can tell, there's really not too many windows on this one. So we're gonna do like a tile concept, and we're gonna go with a little bit of like some blues and greens with that brown. And then outline black. So first things first, let's get these colors. 1, 2, far blue. I can go here. This is too stands out too much. I think this green would be good. And then like this like pastel. Yeah, it's a blau violet. Blue is really blue violet pastel, but in some type of French. We're gonna get to it. And I need a black. fine print. Let's get to it. So first thing I want to do is I want to create these tiles. So need this. Oh shoot. That's crazy. Wow, Sway. Anyways. I'm gonna use the fine print as a guide to create this tile piece first. You know, now that I think about it, it's kind of hard to not go this way because this is how people write in English. And I've been trained to do that, you know, in writing on paper. So it's interesting to try and break that, or even try and use the opposite hand, which I've never done when it comes to painting. But now in my life I've been using or trying to imply or push myself to do things with my opposite hand, specifically like basketball, driving, right? Just to train that right side of the brain and push it to work, right? They say it not only pushes your creativity, but it also is just keeps you sharp, keeps your mind sharp to use your opposite sometimes. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. I'm not gonna use my right hand to paint today, but in the future, you heard it here first. Right hand tea coming soon. Let's work this way. I know left-handed people out there, love to y'all. I know we're outnumbered, but would you say that we're more creative than right-handed people? Is that true? Has that been statistically proven? And if you're right-handed, do you feel like you're more creative than your left-handed friends? Pose a question. We're gonna put a poll up. See who wins. Yeah, I've been left-handed my whole life. I've been an oddball my whole life. But it's definitely helped, specifically in sports. It's definitely helped. If you're a basketball player, you know, you see somebody left-handed, you like, this gonna be a tough guard. I can't stop him. He might be able to shoot very, very well because he a lefty or she a lefty. So, shout out to left-handed players. Locked in, baby. Let's keep it going. Very tempting sometimes to just want to like draw a line, but for consistency purposes and just for the overall kind of aesthetic of the art, I try to make sure everything is a dot. It's tough sometimes though. Sometimes I just want like, let me just draw, let me just color. Like, yeah, that's, you chose this, stick to it. I mean, see it through. Can't break the trend. Can't break what you bought into. Pointillism, baby. Pointillism. I like the way it's looking. One thing I do like about these pens, they're not as messy. Obviously working with paint, it's just, you know, sitting there like liquid, a puddle. put a splash. And when it's acrylic, that shit damages your clothes. So with this, I can kind of wear what I want and not be too afraid that I'm gonna damage my clothes. Because acrylic does not come out. You can wash it, not coming out. But the good side of that is that when I was working on pieces like jackets, like obviously you can see I've painted on this and I can wash it and it cracks, but like it stays, you know. I've done this and it's not coming off. So when you're working on, you know, fabric, clothing, and you want to paint, it's good to use because you can wash it and it's probably won't fade too much. It won't, you know, go away. But if you get it on your clothes accidentally, kind of got that design done, so I'll show you what we got. Zooming in on this building, we have our tile design, as you can see. Buildings, man, buildings. I always wanted to build. Well, I wanted to be an architect. That was one of my first dream jobs. Still do. I was always fascinated with drawing, of course, and just the creation of a building and being able to see it, like before this was here, someone built this in their mind. And then drew it out, and then you made the blueprint for this to exist. That's just fascinating to me. Fascinating. Now we gotta get these colors going. Which one y'all want to see first? Green, blue, brown. I'm choosing. Let's get it. Let's go blue first. With this, we're gonna switch up the vibe. I was talking about perspective, switching up the flow. We're gonna lay it down. Let's get it. We back, baby. So, like I said, we're gonna hit these with some colors. I got, you know, a bunch of different tiles here. Somehow I got a rip in the canvas, but it's okay. Small. Starting with the blue violet pastel. Let's get to it. So just gonna go random with it. I'm coloring these spots. Hit every other. Now, as you can tell on the side, I like to let my paintings bleed onto the side of the canvas just to make sure you understand, like, this is really dotted out. Ain't no bullshit. Ain't no, I'm not making it look like I'm not painting over it and then adding dot. Nah, all dots. I like to let it bleed to the side so you know it's real. It's real. Should have a method to these colors and their alignment, but I'm just gonna go random. Cool. Not bad. Done. Actually, let me leave this to the side. Let's go green. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna add. So I gotta check. We're gonna add a brown into that too. Brown into the mix. Let's go green next. I'm not talking sometimes about that. Lay it out. There we go. When I first moved to LA, believe it or not, I got into education. It's part of the reason why I came out here. I was working for a nonprofit called City Year, and they focused on education, getting students' grades up, and defeating prison or school to prison pipeline in America that still goes on today. Very prevalent. By third grade, they can predict whether a student is going to go a certain route in life based off of their test scores, believe it or not. So yeah, I got into education, and within it, it's just interesting. I've always worked with kids. Even when I was younger, I was either in summer camps, which then led me to being a counselor in those camps, or just coaching teams at a young age. So I guess it was just always something, I guess it was a purpose I find in my life, was to give back to the younger generation, as those people that did for me, all the programs I was in. It's kind of inevitable. So I found myself in that sector for a while, for about 9 years, past 9 years. I've been out here 10, and it's been amazing. I've learned a lot on both sides, education, corporate, a lot of growth, and just working with kids, you just, it's so rewarding. It can be a lot though, it's very draining, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, like very much draining, but it is beautiful work. I love it. Shout out to all my teachers out there. Y'all do not you get the short end of the stick every single time, but you do it because you love it. Now I more do private coaching, and again, very rewarding. I want to give back, but the process of seeing somebody struggle with something that is new to them, stay consistent with it, push boundaries, push that barrier that they feel like they can't get past, and then learn to break down those barriers, and then find love in the craft that they're learning is just beautiful to see. And also just be a part of it, to help somebody do that, you know. It's a blessing, truly a blessing. And I think pointillism in return is similar to what I preach and coach, that it's all about consistency, persistence, repetitiveness. And that's the lesson for today. When you repeat something so much, not only do you become good at it, it builds routine, discipline, and just from that repetition, you ultimately become great at something. And that's what we all achieve to do, is become great. But you have to repeat it so much that it doesn't even feel like you're doing it. So stay in that repetition, and eventually you will achieve your goals the more you repeat. Green, done. Let's move on to brown. And then I got 2 more colors. We got a beige. Yeah, Sahara beige. And then we'll go back over it with the color that we got here. With layering these colors, you obviously want to create your base first. So like the background color that's going to stand out the most. And then you're going to put your second layer of your secondary color. That is kind of the accent that you want it to like kind of poke through and kind of be able to see. And then you'll go back over it with that foundation color. And then ultimately you'll have, you know, the essence of what you were trying to create. The thing with pointillism is, I like is that certain things can kind of blend together. It helps because as an artist, a lot of people strive to have very like straight lines, which again is its own discipline. blur line effect. Should be a color. Oh, all right. Sometimes we overexert and this will start to bleed and kind of like create a blob on the painting. Don't want that, so just gotta make sure we're going a little light on the dotting so we don't go too heavy. And then we just got a fucking splosh of plain paint on the spot. Don't want that. Feet are good. Oh shoot, okay. It's kind of new. Alright, that's fine. New color. Just picked up a lot of new pens. Some of them haven't been touched, like this one. Tends to have a smaller dot when you start with them, and then as this, I don't know what that fabric is. I guess some type of like cotton. Will start to like kind of dissolve a little bit and get wider, so it creates like a better dot. So I like the pens when they're a little bit used versus when they're brand new, because then it doesn't create the same like space. It's more like a fine print dot, and it takes longer to cover a space than it would if it was used. But so be it. Just figure it out. Roll with the punches. Ultra brown light. That'll be our final touch. Is with that one. And here we go. We have our tile effect. I'm gonna let this dry, and we'll get to it. See the process. This one building. It takes a second. So beautiful. Life is beautiful. Here we go, final stage. Thank you for locking in with me today. Episode 2. It's been a good time. Appreciate anybody who likes, comments, subscribes. Something you gotta say, I guess, on YouTube. I'm new to this. I'm new to this vlogging. Believe it or not, this came to me in a dream. This concept of this building, like tiles. Weird, very weird. Like pictured it. I wasn't sure what to do with this one specifically. There's a couple other ones I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with, but you know, figure it out. We on our conscious rapture today for the vibes. I like that conscious shit. Part of the art process is dance breaks. For real? Oh shit! It's not breaking art though. Let's take it back. Music and art go hand in hand. I grew up mainly with just my mom, and she introduced me to some old school hip hop artists before I even, outside of listening to the radio, I didn't really listen to like my own shit. So the first couple projects or CDs that I had was Tribe Called Quest, Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick the Ruler. Those were my first 3 CDs. That was my introduction to hip hop. Like when you really like take it in for yourself, it was amazing. And that's where a lot of my music, or when I rap, that's where it comes from. And your fat ass styles, street poetry is my everyday. But yo, I gotta stop when you drop my way. Very strong, from the into form. Yeah, my man Alan. Baby so on ice, the average is a man, never ever a mice. Alright, I don't like how the colors are like resting under. So I'm gonna just bring them out. Add a little bit more to those. And then we have our finished product. Now, obviously I haven't done the whole thing, but you see that top part? That's essentially what this will look like. I'll do it on my own time, but again, thank you all for locking in with me. Let's put this down real quick. Again, this is Patience and Pointillism with Ahmose. Thank you for being patient with me. Until next time.